Jazz was born on the streets of New Orleans in the southern United States in the late 19th century. It is quintessentially African-American music, but in the 1920s, it began to spread to other parts of the world, including China.
It had a tremendous appeal, especially to younger people, because of the liveliness of the music and the dancing and the nature of the partnered dancing that went along with it.
That is a clip from the documentary Jazz in China. It was produced and directed by jazz musician and composer Eugene Marlowe.
Stylistically, jazz is jazz is jazz. What's different, perhaps, is the cultural lens or the cultural ears that these jazz musicians take with them when they interpret their own style of jazz.
Shanghai, Shanlo. Oh, but baby, I got to know.
In 2000, Marlowe was a guest lecturer at the University of Shanghai School of Film and Television. He later returned to China to research a book titled Jazz in China, From Dancehall Music to Individual Freedom of Expression. During the Mao years, jazz was banned in China.
Jazz and dancing were seen as something decadent and were viewed negatively by the revolutionaries in China.
Years later, when Deng Xiaoping came into power, the jazz dance halls returned. Marlowe says jazz is now flourishing in China.
There are jazz clubs all over China. There are at least 5 jazz festivals, annual jazz festivals in China. 2 American organizations have set up jazz clubs in Beijing and Shanghai. That's Blue Note International and Jazz at Lincoln Center. These are major organizations.
Marlowe says, unlike audiences in the West, demand for jazz in China is driven by younger people. The musicians are classically trained and are drawn to jazz's less rigid improvisational style.
A lot of jazz journalists and jazz musicians in the United States can't conceive that there are really great players outside the United States. If they watch this documentary, they're going to be surprised at how good these jazz musicians are.
April 30th marks International Jazz Day, a day where there are jazz events all around the world. The documentary Jazz in China can be viewed for 24 hours on the 30th and can be accessed through a link on the official website for International Jazz Day. Karina, CGTN.